Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Nadia Rajput from DESI TV USA. Let's have a look at the headlines. Iran warns of decisive response to any military aggression at UNSC. Pakistan Saudi Turkey defense deal in pipeline, defense production minister says. US imposes sanctions on Iran over crackdown. UN chief sounds alarm on global cooperation. Let's look into details. Ambassador and Deputy Permanent Representative of Iran to the United Nations, Ghulam Hossein Darzi, has issued a stern warning that any military or political aggression against Tehran will be met with a full and decisive response, while condemning international sanctions as a violation of international law. Speaking at the UN Security Council, Darzi criticized the United States for convening a meeting on Iran's internal situation, calling it shameful and an example of political hypocrisy. Darzi accused Western human rights organizations of advancing an Israeli agenda and claimed that years of sanctions have directly harmed ordinary Iranian civilians rather than the government. Pakistan Saudi Turkey defense deal in pipeline, Defense Production Minister says. Defense Production Minister Raza Hayat Haraj has said that Pakistan, Saudi Arabia and Turkey have prepared a draft defense agreement after nearly a year of talks, a signal that they could be seeking a bulwark against a flare-up of regional violence in the last 2 years. Haraj told a day ago the potential deal between the three regional powers was separate from a bilateral Saudi-Pakistan defense deal announced last year. A final consensus between the three states is needed to complete the deal, he said. The Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey trilateral agreement is something that is already in pipeline.
Now I am American. I have citizen.
I still have my Salvadorian passport and now I have my USA passport. I am a citizen of the US.
Khi cầm cái hộ chiếu Mỹ, con rất là tự hào mình là công dân Mỹ.
La ciudadanía para mí significa oportunidades.
Si ya tienen el tiempo que pueden hacerse ciudadanas, que lo hagan.
No pierde nada uno con intentarlo.
Como dicen en México, echándole ganas, todo se puede.
The US on Thursday imposed sanctions on 5 Iranian officials it accused of being behind the crackdown on protest and said it was tracking Iranian leaders' funds being wired to international banks as President Donald Trump keeps the pressure on Tehran. The US Treasury Department in a statement said it imposed sanctions on the Secretary of the Supreme Council for National Security as well as Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps and law enforcement forces commanders, accusing them of being architects of the crackdown. The US also imposed sanctions on Kurdish prisoner where the State Department said women had endured cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres lashed out Thursday at world leaders who he said were seeking to put international cooperation on death watch amid brazen violations on international law, but held off naming offending countries. He also reiterated that he was deeply concerned about the violent repression in Iran ahead of an emergency Security Council meeting on the crisis scheduled for later Thursday. Guterres, who will step down at the end of 2026, was giving his last annual speech setting out his priorities for the year ahead and said that the world was riven with defeating geopolitical divides, brazen violations of international law. He also slammed wholesale cuts in development and humanitarian aid, an apparent reference to deep cuts to the budget of UN agencies made by the United States under the Trump administration's America First policies. These forces and more are shaking the foundations of global cooperation and testing the resilience of multilateralism itself, Guterres told the General Assembly. That's all for now. Keep watching DESI TV USA. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and don't forget to watch our channels DTVNN and DESI Urdu TV.
Now I am American. I have citizen.
I still have my Salvadorian passport and now I have my USA passport. I am a citizen of the US.
Khi cầm cái hộ chiếu Mỹ, con rất là tự hào mình là công dân Mỹ.
La ciudadanía para mí significa oportunidades.
Si ya tienen el tiempo que pueden hacerse ciudadanas, que lo hagan.
No pierde nada uno con intentarlo.
Como dicen en México, echándole ganas, todo se puede.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130 plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.